didn't even know if it was me who shot or them. Couldn't believe what I did. I just remember blacking out.
Meet 18-year-old John Fuentes, a teenager who thinks he's going home after killing an innocent boy.
You know who's injured or deceased? The little brother, he's 15 and he's dead.
But with every excuse he makes, the walls will begin to close in on this sick and twisted killer.
And then just, it was just like a movie. It's crazy. I don't know, the most insane day of my life. I must have blacked out.
Around 1:30 a.m. on the morning of July 25th, 2025, Albuquerque police responded to reports of gunfire in a dorm room at the University of New Mexico. When they arrived, they found 14-year-old Michael Lamotte dead from a gunshot wound to the head, and evidence of heavy drug and alcohol use in the room. At a nearby hospital, another victim, 19-year-old Daniel, had just arrived with 20-year-old Zion, a witness who was also at the scene. But the shooter, 18-year-old John Fuentes, was nowhere to be found. Police caught up with their suspect in nearby Valencia County hours later after a citywide manhunt, where he'd been hiding at a family member's home. He was taken into custody and brought in for questioning, where investigators want to know how a fun night out partying with friends ended with one person dead. The following footage was provided by the New Mexico State Police.
How's it going, man? Thanks, bro. How you doing, man?
Decent, and you?
Yeah. I'm Agent Donis with the New Mexico State Police Investigations Bureau.
Double Cormac with the State Police.
Your name is John Fuentes, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just here to talk with you about what happened, just to get your version.
Right.
We don't want other people speaking on your behalf.
What brought you to UNM?
Usually I just go hang out at the dorm, and we just hang out, watch movie, or not movie, but like play his PlayStation or whatever, and smoke like marijuana, nicotine, like what everybody does. And then I remember he wanted me to come because this is gonna be his last like semester or last year, like couple days, and he's like, let's take, what is it, acid tabs, and then I don't know, I was keep telling him nah, like he wanted to take it with some. And I remember I pull up, and he had his gun with him, and then I remember came by and brought more so we could try it. And at the time, I remember I took like I think of, what is it, acid. And then I remember peer pressure me, take another line. And I remember to the point where I was just, I couldn't even think. I remember I just remember blacking out. And then I remember I just wake up like on top of a roof. I'm like calling my brother. I'm like, what just happened? He's like, where you at? And I'm like stuttering. I was like losing my mind.
If it wasn't clear from the start, John seems to be suffering the hangover of the century. This makes sense considering the insane amount of substances he claims to have been peer pressured into consuming the previous night. Investigators must now be wondering if a drug-induced blackout explains all of this, and how John ended up in an entirely different county after the crime.
I don't even know what happened. That's whenever I went to the parking lot and I was trying to look for help. And that's whenever I found some people, and I was like, hey, can you guys help me? I was like, here, I don't care about the gun. I was like, here. I threw it on the floor. I was like, send help. I was like, I'm bleeding. Please, I don't know what's going on. And then they just like drove off. They're like, what the hell? But I don't blame them. But yeah, I remember just after.
Yes, please. Sorry, you're not going.
Yeah. And then I remember just completely blacking out. And then I remember whenever I was on top of the roof, I just remember I had this Glock 19 on me, and I was just like out of it. I didn't even know where the heck I was at. And that's whenever I was like calling. I didn't even know where I was at. Like I was like, I remember I kept calling my dad. I was like, I think I got laced or something. I was like, I'm on top of a roof on UNM. I was like, I think I just shot two people. I'm like, I'm losing my mind. I remember I was just running to like the UNM. I remember it was just a bunch of UNM cops outside. I was running and running. And I remember I went like this. I was just like, help, help, help. I'm bleeding. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I can't control. And then I remember just seeing, I didn't even know it was just my uncle's truck right there. I didn't even know if it was him. And thank God he saved me. He was just like, yeah, hop in. What's going on? And like, he thought I got like jumped. And because I said, I thought, I don't know, there's something in the, I don't know. Because he just, what I kind of remember is just glass breaking, I remember, and just full sprint running. Just out of breath, going, just like, yeah, like an animal out on. And then I remember my mom went to go like peep out the scene, and then she tells me the whole news is there, and that she looked on the news, and one's injured and one's deceased, and that's when I just started losing my mind. I was like, I couldn't believe what I did. Just like Rambo jumping out, and then just like, I remember I looked in my pants and I had a 19, and then that's whenever I went to the parking lot near my car, and I was like literally just looking for any cop I could find to help me, like help. And then that's whenever I ran into those people, and I was like, help, help, help. And then they were like, I pulled out the Glock and I really threw it in front of me. I was like, please help, help, help. And then they were like, they just drove off, yeah. But that's literally all I remember. And but I remember just looking around like, what the actual hell? What did I take? I kept telling my dad, I think I got laced. I think I got laced. UNM, come out. I don't even know. I was like, I don't even know. And then I have an interlock, so, and then we were also drinking too. So I was like, I can't even drive. I don't know what to do. I was going insane. I completely like felt like it was frying my brain, and I didn't even remember like it was probably the worst experience I ever had.
Oh, that sounds rough.
And then at some point I completely lost the Glock. I literally like blacked out. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, I don't remember where the hell any of my went. I remember I ran up to my uncle with just my underwear on, and he was like, "What the hell happened to you?" And I told him, I think I got laced or something. I completely blacked out. I don't know what the hell that fool had in there. And then, yeah, I don't even know. That's what bugs the hell out of me. I literally just freaking, it was like the worst thing ever.
As John describes the worst possible trip report of all time, detectives notice that he's left out some key details, like how this all started in the first place. How did this group of party boys end up in the same dorm room with a boatload of drugs? And when did the reckless gunplay enter the equation?
So like kind of like go through like the events of like you guys hanging out. Like did you guys just start, doing it like right away, or were you guys just hanging
Pretty
out?
much, because it was already late, and then he had work in the morning. So I was like, well, we could hang out now and get it over with now, because he had like work, and then, what is it? I told him I don't want to be all tweaked out whenever I have to go. One of my family members was gonna bring like to the couponer. She's gonna bring all kinds of clothes and soap and oil. It's just to help us out. And I remember I told him, well, I'd rather just do it on the day where whenever. So like the night we do it, I don't want to be going and hanging around with my family the morning. You know what I mean? The next morning. So I told him, oh, let's just do it now. Let's just go now. That he just had work in the morning. He was like, yeah.
So you guys like you got there and then you started doing and
Yeah, I mean him popped like a tab and a half. And then I remember after that he just like, let's do a line, let's do a line, let's do a bump, let's do a bump, let's do a bump.
Was that in his room or in one of your cars?
And I was in his dorm.
His dorm. Okay. At a certain point, were people like getting on each other's cases, or did somebody start becoming obnoxious or start a fight, or like what do you remember in there, man? What happened? I mean, we kind of heard some things from some other folks, but we really want to hear your take on it.
Somewhat of a iron. I just remember it was going so quick. We could have been arguing. I don't really remember crap, but I just remember somewhat of me holding his pistol, like looking at it off that, like all just tripping out on it, and then just like just I remember I don't even remember, and I remember it was just like a movie, and then that's whenever I was just running around like an insane person around the campus trying to find help.
You remember how you left the room? They
Uh,
left the room? Whoever left?
I don't remember
what led you to believe that you may have shot two people?
because I was just full of blood, and I remember the Glock. Before I was messing with it, I remember it had bullets, and then I remember I took out the clip and it was empty, and I was like just bleeding, and I thought I shot myself because there's this big welt right here.
Mm.
So I remember, and my ears were ringing, so I definitely knew something was up. I don't know. My mind was running a million miles per second. Because I just remember, like, I didn't even know if it was me who shot or them, but I remember just loud noises running, and I remember I laid down under a bush, and I checked the clip, and it was empty, and I was like, oh, bro, like, if I thought someone was gonna kill me, I was like, that's whenever I think I climbed on top of the roof, and I remember I was like straight going insane. I was like knocking on the windows. I was like, somebody please help, somebody please help me, help me, help me. And then I just keep getting paranoid that like someone was gonna like, I was gonna knock on a window and someone was just gonna blast me or something like that. That's whenever I was like, I was losing my mind. That's whenever I just said, I remember I just took off my pants and no, I remember I hopped in the water fountain out there, like a stream, or I don't know what the hell it was. And I remember I was washing off my cuts, getting a drink of water, and I was soaked. I was freezing. That's whenever I was on top of the roof, and then I remember I took off my socks, I threw them, because they're soaked, they're all getting all muddy, and I took off my pants, I threw them too, and then just full sprint. I remember at that, once I took off that, I remember I was like, I need help. So I started full sprinting. That's whenever it was literally like, police, 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 police at UNM. And I walk out, and I'm like, please, please, so somebody. And I remember I started.
You saw the officers or cars?
I just saw cars, officer cars. So I was expecting there to be police there. I was like, I need help. I don't know what's going on. I feel like someone's gonna kill me. I was like, and then that's whenever I just ran it. It was like perfect timing. It was like, what the? But I don't know. It was just like, it happened so quick. Shit's crazy. I don't know. the most insane day of my life.
Despite claiming not to remember anything from last night, John's done a pretty good job explaining the sequence of events after the shooting, and evidence from the scene backs it up. Police found his pants, a keychain, and a stolen firearm on the roof of Mesa Vista Hall, near a trail of blood and shattered windows. But what he's failed to mention is why he pulled the trigger. Was there an argument or altercation? Then again, it's entirely possible that he simply has no idea what he was thinking, or if the drugs and alcohol were doing the thinking for him. But there's something else that John doesn't know, at least not yet. The identity of the person he killed.
We were watching, I don't know, it's hard to say. We could have been arguing. I mean, that's why I was almost like, you could ask what is it? His little brother or something. But I don't know, we could have been. I just remember completely blacking out. I don't even remember just running full speed.
What's his little brother like? Does he talk to you, or what's he?
I don't know. I don't think his little brother's doing any of the coke though. That's the thing. Or I think he did some. I don't know.
Was he into the guns the way you were? I mean, everybody was, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Or was he not? Like,
Pretty much everybody was.
So you don't ever like recall at all like ever actually shooting a gun at any point in time?
I could have, but I'm not 100% sure. That's why I can't say. But I'm pretty sure I did, because I don't mean, who else would? It literally said on the news that one's injured, one's deceased. So I'm pretty sure I did. I just don't remember.
know who's injured or who's deceased?
No, I don't. Well,
What would you guess?
I'm pretty sure deceased. One's injured. I'm pretty sure.
What leads you to what leads you to think that like them versus somebody else, or why one's dead and the other one's injured?
Because his brother wasn't really in the way. His brother was just kind of out there. But they're both, I mean, every time we hang out, they're right there. And I don't think I would have shot his little brother. His little brother was always just out of the way. He's not really, he kind of just like the side character.
How do you feel about that?
Horrible. I remember I was literally going insane and like crying, and I didn't know what to do because my brain was still off. I was like, I can't go to them now. I can't turn myself in. I was like, I need to wait till I get sober or something. I was like, I was literally going insane, and I remember I was like, I couldn't handle it. And that's whenever my grandma was just like, I want to just spend the last time with you, get you something to eat, try to chill you out, try to detox your mind, and then we go turn yourself in. 'Cause at some point I told her I'm gonna have to, I was like, either if I don't turn myself in, they're gonna find me. I was like, there ain't no doubt about that. So
do you want us to tell you who was injured?
yeah.
I mean, I'm asking. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Okay. So the little brother, he's 14 and he's dead. What? And then injured but not seriously. Not.
What? How much of blacked out? What?
I'm sorry.
While John may have been totally out of his mind on drugs, that excuse usually doesn't hold up in a court of law, and this case would be no exception. He was charged with murder, tampering with evidence, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He faces more than 30 years behind bars if convicted. Both Daniel Archuleta and Zion Miera were also arrested and charged with tampering with evidence, contributing to the delinquency of a minor and drug charges.